Okay, I'm back. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? This is Ken coming at you, SQL coach. Today is December 3rd, 29th, 2020. I'm not going to tell you what time it is. It's pretty late at night, you know. You probably can see what time it is. It's 11:37 p.m. So the next thing that we need to do is to download Microsoft's SQL Server Management Studio. So I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to go to the download SQL. I don't want to do that. I want to download SQL Server Management Studio. I'm just going to say SSMS. That's what I'm going to say. It's a lot quicker. All right, so I go here and it says download SQL Server Management Studio. And I could do Visual Studio. Some of you guys might have Visual Studio, but I'm going to keep it as basic as possible and I'm going to keep it as simple as possible. This is for beginners. This is not for you super developer people. You know, you go ahead on past this one. This one's for people who are trying to get started on SQL Server and do not know how to install free versions. So that's what I'm going to do. So the current build is this is 18.8. I already have it installed. So let's see what build that I have. I got 18.31. So we're going to download 18.8. Yes, those are my children. SSMS. I'm going to close down my current SSMS and let that roll and go ahead and click that. It says SSMS setup. So setting up. Yes, my children are a lovely set. I got two of them in there. So let's go over here and see what it says here. It says SQL Server Managed Studio with Azure Data Studio, which is what we want. Uh, we want the location to be where it says. We're not going to change anything. It's going to do the install. It's going to say, probably say you already got it installed, but it would be nice if I could have done a upgrade to the one that I already have. That way I won't have 2 3 version installs. But we'll just make sure that we got 18.8 so that we'll know that we're working on the same thing. Thanks for coming by, everybody. This series is a series to help those of us who may have problems with our current SQL. I'm not here to teach you SQL. I'm not here to teach you the phrases. I'm not here to teach you the select statements. I'm not here to teach you anything about too much about SQL Server. What we are here, me specifically, because I have some team members, what we are here to do is we are here to try and assist you in some of the problems you may have with your SQL Server. And one of the main things that we'd like to assist you with at the beginning is how to handle certain simple queries. You may want to do a simple query and you're having some issue. Now, what our plan is to allow you to give us your problem, and when you give us your problem, you we will get together and solve that problem together. We are not going to solve a problem for you. You could do that on your own. What we're going to do is we're going to assist you because most of us we know what we want to do, but we just don't have time to do it. And you just need sometimes you just need a coach, someone to encourage you, to let you move along, to show you how to search for certain things. Now, those of you who are very uh, uh, astute in SQL Server language and anything that happens to do with Microsoft SQL Server, these videos are not for you. These videos only for the ones who are beginners and who need help. Some of you may not even be interested in SQL Server. You may have acquired it, because the person before you left you behind and you trying to figure out something how to do it really quick. So we stream live so that we can solve the problem together live, uh, coming about to do what you need to be get done. Okay, let's see here now. I've done it. This is installed, so I'm going to go ahead on and do that. And let's see if I can find it. Let's see. Azure Data Studio. We do not want that. Let's see. We do want SQL Server Management Studio. Are you in there anywhere? We don't want that. What the heck is it? There it is. Those are just the tools. This is Profiler and this is SQL Server Management Studio. It says 18, so I'm hoping that when I crank it up, it says 18.8. And it does. It says 18.8. All right. Now the next thing we're going to do, and then we're going to close this video out, is we're going to connect to the database that we created on Azure. Now, I don't know how to do that. I've never done it before in my life. But we're going to do it together and figure out how to do it together. This is what we do. We learn together. We don't make you feel inadequate. This is one of the things that I learned. I've been in the database business for a long time, ever since SQL Server came out with no name, no version, nothing. It was just called Microsoft SQL Server, and it was working on Windows NT at the time. And one of the things that I've noticed, especially with these classes, and those of you may be taking MCSE or whatever, MCSA or in whatever is going on as far as these certifications, the people that teach you, not the certification test itself, but the people that teach you, they are assuming that you already know a whole lot about SQL Server. And there's no way that someone can teach you everything about SQL Server. They can inch you along to show you that there are some books and things out there, but the main thing that you have to do is just get in there and practice. Okay, let's see. Excuse me. Now I'm going to try to connect. Now this interface here, I'm sort of familiar with it, and I do not want to do this SSIS, which is what we do. We help with that as well. I want to try and do connect to SQL Server. Now, I don't know where to go to connect to SQL Server. I have no idea. Now, usually there's some parameters, IP addresses, or something like that, So we're gonna try to learn this together. Now, most of you out there looking at me saying, "Man, don't you know what you're doing? You don't know what you're doing." So, well, I obviously do not. So now I'm gonna go back over here and I'm going to say, how do you connect SSMS with Azure? So I'm gonna go back over here over to Azure, and I'm going to see my server configuration, which is let's see, I don't want that, I don't want that, and I do not want that. Let's try Azure Data Studio and see what happens, because you know things change so much. Things change, man, things change. But Azure Data Studio, I'm sure that that's SSMS, and that's not, you know, the SQL Server thing. I mean, the SSMS, that's more, it says preview features, enhance your experience. Sure, why not? No, don't read anymore. I'm thinking that this is, let's see, what is this? Connections. Hey, this is a new way to connect to SQL Server, and you do it through Azure Data Studio. See how we learn together? Server. What's the name of the server? Can you browse the server? Let's see. You guys can't hear me. You guys probably can't hear that. Let's see. Cancel connection. would be nice. Azure Active Directory? Don't know. Let's try it. I know my name is this. I don't know. You guys can't hear that in the background, but I can. Cause see, Microsoft, what they'll do is they'll not Microsoft, but they'll get mad at you. Okay, so let's close the page. Go back over to Data Studio, and let's see if we can find us a database. I think the name of our database server was, what was the name of our database server? It was called Coach. That was the name of it. I'm just guessing because all of this is new to me. Let's see. Okay. See if it comes up, finds anything. Yeah, there you go. See if we get a connection here. Let's see. Let's go with the browse. All right. You guys who know how to do this, you guys are probably just tripping. Like, how in the world is you gonna do this and you don't know what the hell you're doing? Hey, that's how we did. We did it a browse. So don't mess with anything else. Just browse. There you go. Let's see what the password is. Naturally. Connect. Okay, we are in. Looks like it. Firewall rule. You see my IP address there. I wonder if I should edit that out. Let's do it okay. I have a VPN anyway. Okay. Well, these are our tables. And this this setup is like, it's like SSMS sort of, but it's looks totally different. And I think that I would prefer to do SSMS only because I'm used to it. Yeah, that would be only reason why. So let's look up to see how we can connect SSMS only because This is the one that I'm familiar with. I'm familiar with SSMS. So, let's go back to our internet, lots of information, and look up how to from SSMS. La 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 do do do. Connect to a server database engine. Let's see. Connect to Azure SQL Server. So if Microsoft doesn't tell us, then yeah, we'll go somewhere else. All right. Just try this one, y'all. But let me copy this because I might need it later. See, these lessons is all over here, man. Doesn't say. Azure Database, Azure Managed Instance, and Azure Snipes. Analytics support connections from SQL Server Management Studio using Azure Directory. All right, I've already done this, and I want to do Azure Active Directory. Let's go and crank up our SQL Server, Azure, and username, server name. Now, the question is, what do we put in server name? Well, let's see. Let's go back over here. Edit the connection. So we got this server. Let's go ahead and put this over there. Now, you see that I'm doing this on the fly, you know, and we're doing this together. You see, as I'm doing it, you have the opportunity to do it as well. So that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to copy this information that I got when I connected with the Azure data and put it in SSMS. See if it works. Sorry, but we're having trouble, excuse me, signing you in. Oh, excuse me. I guess that's one thing you're not supposed to do on camera, huh? Let's see. Let's go with Azure Active Directory and see what we get. Put anything in there for now. Could not discover a user realm. You couldn't. Let's go with SQL Server authentication and go. It should give me a password, not, yeah, login failed. Okay, so now this is how you connect. You you have SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio, database engine, then you put the name of the server at database.windows.net. Then you put your login ID that you put in there, and then you go about your business. This is where I was saying you may need to write down. Yes, I'm going to put remember. Now I'm connected. I am totally connected to using SQL Server Management Studio. And here's the database, and here are the tables. Here are the stored procedures. Excuse me, functions, and what have you. Now, what shall we do next? What we should do next is on the next video, I'm hoping, I am going to give you a overview on how to do a regular backup. And I know that you already have your methods of doing backups, but this is for beginners, for those of us who would like to know how to do backups, and those of us who know that we want to try and keep our information separate, especially since we are, if we are, since we are trying to, oh, what was that? No, sorry about that, y'all. So, thanks for coming by once again, and I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end it here, and perhaps maybe I'll come back and see you again next time. But I just want to make sure I put this video up because it's a new. We're starting off anew. When we come back, we're gonna have some general. In fact, I'm not gonna have any general functions. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna create a topic, and the first topic is how to query a table. And then the next one, which is very important, is how to query or join two tables together to get information. Now, of course, you guys, I want you to go and study and figure that out on you know, to figure that out on how to do it. And then when you come back, then we'll just do the simple query. We do a simple query, then we'll combine join query. And I'll get back with you next time. Thanks for coming in, and we'll talk to you later. Yeah, take it easy.